Hi everyone and welcome to Agape Book Club. I am doing a book review for the book called Broken Monsters by Lauren Beukes. Yeah, that name. Let's see here. So I have some notes. Oh, I know where I put them. I'm like, where are my notes? We'll have to give this just a second to get going. I'm waiting on my computer to finish loading up. To give you guys an update while we wait on that, this series that I started, The Age of Vampires, I've been listening to those books in between the books that I've been reading, and I'm really enjoying them. So guys, if you like the first one and you read the first one, tell me how you can't keep going, because it's been a fantastic series. All right, let's see. I know my notes are in here. I will definitely give you a countdown to when I will have some of the spoiler alerts and my review of it. And the way that I do my book club is we have a book that we read each month. I guess while this is still kind of taking some time, we can look at the books so far. We've read Haunting Adeline. We read Hunting Adeline. We read On a Quiet Street and Age of Vampires, The Eternal Reign. Okay, and now we have finished Broken Monsters. So let's go ahead and write the read on there. All right. And then for next month, we are going to be in June. So on Monday, or when you see this, this coming Monday, we're going to roll for what to read. I'll roll for 2 of them, and then I'll start a poll on Tuesday. We will finish up on Friday, and we'll have a book reveal on Saturday. So watch out for that if you want to join in. I do not discriminate against people who listen and people who read. That's just how it is sometimes. But again, this is called Broken Monsters, Lauren Beukes. To give you, Amazon gave it a 3.9. Goodreads is a 3.59. So let's call it a 3.6. And to tell you about what it's about, Detective Gabrielle Vasato has seen a lot of dead bodies, but this one was unique, even by Detroit standards. Half boy, half deer, somehow fused together as stranger and more disturbed bodies are discovered. How can the city hold on to reality that is already tearing at its seams? If you're Detective Versato, geeky teenager daughter Layla, you commence a dangerous flirtation with a potential predator online. If you're desperate freelance journalist Jono, you do whatever it takes to get the exclusive on the horrific story. If you're Thomas Keene, also known as in the streets as TK, you'll do what you can to keep your homeless family safe and find the monster who is possessed by the dream of violently remaking the world. If Lauren Beukes' international best-selling The Shining Girls was a time-jumping thrill ride through the past, her Broken Monsters is a genre-redefining thriller about broken cities, broken dreams, and broken people trying to put themselves back together again. And some of the stuff that I read here for the reviews, again, we're not doing spoiler alerts yet, so For the most part, it seems like, hold on, please. Sorry about that. There's a lot going on. All right. So, from what I could read, it just seemed like people kind of, they liked it, but nobody was like extreme. I mean, well, I'm not going to say nobody. There were some people who gave it 5 stars, but a lot of it was just like, oh, The Shining Girls was better and blah, 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 blah. So I think people who are familiar felt like this book was not the best, but let's see. Speculation that turned out to be completely inaccurate and way too ambitious, but this reminded me of one particular discussion that had me foaming at the mouth with potential. So they're talking about Detective Rosado, that she just wasn't, I guess her character as a detective wasn't like great. They didn't really think that that was great, but this one here was, which I did enjoy this quote that was in the book. It's not the world, that's the stage. It's social media where you're trying to put on a show. The rest of your life is rehearsals, prepping in the wings to be fabulous online. Well, it definitely was like a lot of like social media context of, putting stuff online, trying to be the first one to get there and stuff like that, but not as much as like if it was like that movie. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie about the online, and people are talking back and forth and there's like a killer on there and all this stuff. It wasn't like that intense with it, but some people felt like it was a little bit too much. I didn't really think that. I think there were some scenes with the Jono guy who was the journalist. He was constantly trying to get things online so he could be, like this great journalist, and be taken seriously. And he definitely wanted the fame and everything and was willing to do anything to get that fame. And so that was part of his story. But there was so many different points of views in this because there were so many. I think that's something that was good about it. And I think a lot of people liked that piece of it. Some people had talked about how the daughter, the side story of the daughter wasn't really necessary. I'll give you more information or more opinion of what I felt. This person really loved the book. And it says, by halfway mark, I was simply enjoying the novel for how much depth and detail all the characters got. The mystery of and the murder and the mayhem hadn't even really begun yet. I just got to reveal in the characterization, or to revel in the characterizations. I didn't mind that there was a handful of them, from the cop, her daughter, the killer, the blogger, and the heroic ex-addict, ex-murderer, ex-slumlord. True, at some points I just wanted the story to go ahead and commence, but by the point where I was actually feeling my heartbeat and my juices flowing, I just didn't care anymore about wanting things to start. I was already invested in the characters in a way that reminded me fondly of the best SK. So I guess Stephen King. The complicated and flawed and vividly drawn peeps that take over an entire novel, leaving an actual plot to stew simply in the background, and you don't even care. That's where I was, and I can agree with that. I did kind of feel like that. Like this author did do a great job with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just go into what I was thinking about this story. So I'll do a quick countdown, and if you do not want to hear my review, I hope you will join us on the next book. I'm going to count back from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I am going to say that I thought this book was great. I liked how there was different points of view. However, what I found was, I don't know if I agree that we needed the whole story, But a lot of the stuff that was going on with Layla, the cop's daughter, really didn't matter within the story. Like, okay, I mean, I guess it was showing that she like was ballsy and can take, do well to take care of herself, or she wasn't scared to get her hands dirty. But like the whole situation with Cass and all of that, that friendship, and then meeting that pedophile and that kind of stuff, I kind of wish she would have told her mom what happened. I don't know if that side story really needed to be in there. I don't know what them girls were doing that kind of stuff anyway, catfishing pedophiles when they're 15 years old. So that was like not good. And on top of that, I don't even think it really went with the story. Now, if they were doing it to the pedophile and the pedophile was the killer, that would be different. But like when they went to the art party and all of that stuff happened, and it came out that, there was some stuff online about Cass and being drunk and people taking pictures of her naked and stuff like that, like child pornography. And then she got in trouble for beating that kid. She beat that kid down. Where his teeth was falling out. Like, how did his teeth fall out like that? And what was she doing really with the ashtray in the beginning, to begin with? So, I mean, it just, some of those things just didn't really make sense or felt like it was needed. But I think overall the plot was good. I enjoyed all the characters. I was sucked in right away. And let me tell you, the ending, like, I just thought this was some crazy person, and it made sense, like, the things that she was, Detective Versado was going after, like, looking for taxidermy and people that have, like, an artist point of view or whatever, which ended up being where it was. But, I mean, it just went super, like supernatural, I mean, that was insane what it ended up being and what the reason is. I mean, like, I just thought it was like a crazy person crime series, but really it turned out more into a supernatural entity kind of thing. Kind of reminded me of It Follows, if you know what that movie was. I think it's called It Follows. Denzel Washington, where the demon kind of hooks on to each person as they go. I think they had something like that in Evil, the TV series that they did, where, like, this entity or demons, go into, say hi Moxie, go into these other different people and possess them. I mean, this guy was obviously had like a dream monster or something, and it was looking for a way to, she hasn't seen me much today, looking for a way to escape and kind of jump on. And then the ending really kind of made me feel like Jono might have got some of that craziness or that entity into him just based off of what he said. That kind of left me feeling like if they did a movie, it would be kind of like maybe a cliffhanger or something to make you think at the end that it could be Jono next, who's the crazy guy who goes crazy. But I think my favorite person in there was TK. I loved him. He had a love for people. He had a love for people who, needed help, people who just couldn't, life the best, I mean, their lives were broken, and he was there to help them. And I just absolutely loved him. And it was so sad when his friend got killed. And the fact that the police were like ignoring that drove me crazy. But and then the location of where they said that, they were putting the book. I mean, that was great. I really actually enjoyed the fact that it was in Detroit and all of that. That was kind of a fun spin to everything. Yeah, you see Moxie's hair. She's like crazy. Come on, baby. You're in the way. Okay. So anyway, I just liked it. I thought it was great. I thought that it was the right tempo for me. The point of views were great. It was easy to follow along. It didn't really, I mean, it kind of just went crazy at the end, but it was very suspenseful and scary, and I loved the end. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 4.25 is what I'm going to give it. Do I have my book? Let me see. Is it this one or this one? Let me see. Yeah. So I am going to go ahead and give my stars. And I've got $4 over here, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. I just need a coin. Let me put it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And if you hear all of that, that's just my cat. All right, so 4.25 is what I'm giving it. And the reason that I'm taking some off is just because, like, it was a great book. It was a great plot. I don't know. I think I'll give it 2.5. I actually really did like this book. I just don't think it was like the best book ever. But it was a really good book. I really did enjoy it. So let's do that. Let's get this color. Alright, we're going to do 4.5. And this is not going to work. That is not the right one to use. Excuse me. I don't have everything unpacked here. 4.5. And then we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. All right. Well, that is where we are with this. I enjoyed it. Oh, shoot. This was May's book. My bad. Well, shoot. What did I give? I'm going to have to go back and see what I gave the other. This is what happens when you move. Hey, don't chew on that. That's not nice. That's not nice. Oli gave me that. Stop. This is not nice. Alright, well, I gotta go back and get what I had for Age of Empires last month and pay that. I need to make a note. I'm gonna put 04 for April. Alright, well, we'll have our June book here soon. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Thank you for staying in this crazy review with me with Crazy Cat, and I didn't have a complete, review checklist and all that stuff because I'm still not unpacked here. All right, but thank you guys. Love you all. Bye.